Good evening. I've just returned home and it's about 5:30. This is the sort of day I've had today. Can you hear the squelch? I think I need some of Harry's boots. This is what happens when you are no good at putting in immersion heaters. I've got 4 dripping now. Everything else seems alright. I mean, they're not pouring, but they're definitely dripping. I don't know whether those fibre washers, do they kind of expand when they get wet and then they seal? I've got no idea, honestly. So if there's anyone with any ideas, please let me know in the comments or get hold of me somehow. I would really appreciate it. Anyway, the rest of today went pretty well. Moved water between all the vessels. I've worked out, I've got all the right hoses and fittings, so that's brilliant. And some other bits and bobs, which I'm going to go in and edit the video now, and should hopefully get that up this evening. Won't be a long video. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'll speak to you next week. Cheers. So I'm in and I'm editing, and I've just noticed the first clip, which you'll see, has got this weird interference crackle in the background. It did it a few weeks ago on another video, and I never worked out what it was. It's only on one clip. It's the same camera, the same microphone, the same everything, in the same place, but one seems to have picked up this kind of interference. So my apologies. Either fast forward that bit or just stick with it. It's not too annoying. And I'll have to try and work out what's going on. Anyway, in my usual style also, I didn't record an outro to the video, so it ends rather abruptly, which appears to be my style these days. Enjoy. Good morning, Sunday morning. The state of this floor already. It is the paint's fine. It's just muddy feet from fixing leaks and walking crap round from this side. So the sooner we can get this side painted, the better. Anyway, I had this persistent leak with this thing, this pump. It's and it's not the pump, it's me. But what you can see where the red hose goes in. That's the supply from the tank into the pump, and I was getting a constant drip from here. Not a lot, but enough to make me angry in the mornings. So I had a male-to-male coupler, a nipple as they're called, in there, and it didn't seem to matter how much tape I used. I think it was a cheap one off Amazon, Chinese. I think the tolerances are way out, so I found I had this on the end of another fitting that I've not really used. This little extension pipe, it was on there. It's also 1 inch, so I've put that in. No drips, perfect. So I just need a couple of Jubilee clips on that hose, like this one, to hold it. And that is now solved. So I just took a few minutes to tidy up the wiring. This is how it was before. Just when I was fiddling and trying to get things to do what I needed them to. It wasn't really intended to be a permanent thing, so that's tidied up now. It's only 12 volt signal, so I'll probably just leave those little spring clips there, to be honest. They're perfectly okay. Easy to whip off if I need to move the pump. So pump, watertight. Oh, little fucking drip. Oh, that was when I had it upside down before, I think. I think that's okay. So yeah, that's looking good. What I need to do now, rather than having to set the volume to be transferred, then turn the pump on, I want the pump to turn on when I press go. So this little device has a relay which signals the solenoid to let the water pass, but I'm just going to try and piggyback that by splicing into it here in this spaghetti of wiring, and see if there's enough of a signal through this alarm cable, basically is what it is. See if there's enough signal to not only open the solenoid, but also to trigger this unused relay that I've got in there, which will then fire the pump up. So that will stop then when the transfer is complete, rather than me having to listen for the change in pitch of the motor and potentially running it dry. So I'm just going to finish that splice off, and I'll give it a little test. I've no idea if it'll work, and I've not brought my meter from home, so I can't even check. But if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Right, that worked. So I've just basically from this box, there's a signal down the black cable which goes off to these two little push-on terminals there, which opens it. So all I've done is halfway down I've just intercepted that and taken the signal up into the spare relay in the panel, and then the power cable from the pump along with the earth, etc., is now terminated into the panel. So you know, the extra space I left, there you go. That's worked then. So if we take a look at this now, I've just set it to 10 litres, so we've got a 10 litre measured transfer. Everything is on, I think. Back onto the main menu, and if I press start now, you should hear the motor, and then it will tick up to 10 litres and stop, I hope. Ta-da! So that all went far better than I was expecting it to, actually. So we're working. I've just been moving 10 litres backwards and forwards for a few minutes and no drips so far, touch wood. Still need just to tidy up this little splice that I did there. But the pump can pretty much stay in place now. If you remember, I had all this attachment here, which is the solenoid, the flow meter, was just coming straight out the top of the pump, and with them being plastic threads, I was a little bit nervous. It was swaying under the weight, bending under the weight of the pipe and everything, so I thought I'd get rid of that and try and replace it with something a little bit more permanent. Got lots of bits of random tube and couplers around, so I managed to assemble this, which will allow me to fill and sparge. It'll never need to be moved unless I want to move the mash tun, in which case it's a couple of zip ties just to disconnect and pull it away. If I want to fill the tun, then I can fill it with this pipe. It's not underlet, but I'll deal with that as we go along. So, and if I want to sparge, then I can put the sparge arm on the top, wherever I've put that. There's a sparge arm gone. Oh, there it is. With the sparge arm on the top, I basically just need to connect from that RGT to that one. I better have a look around if I've got more bits to do that.